On. Hi, good morning, good evening. What is evening? English is my first language, and I now need to speak it very well. All right. Today is Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024. Voting members are present. To my left, Councilor Fidelina Santiago, and to my right, Vice Chair Selena Reyes. Gregory Rosario is absent. I believe he's out, but I'm not sure of that. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting of the Ordinance Committee is being conducted both in person and via remote participation. A reminder that persons who would like to listen to view this meeting while in progress may either attend in person at the location above or use any of the following access locations, including the Facebook Lawrence City Council page and the YouTube Lawrence City Council page. With that, would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have minutes? 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 The answer, I think, is no. The answer, whoop. Do we have minutes to approve, Pat? April 9th minutes. I got a packet of minutes. Let's do this. Let's do the minutes. Let's do them individually. Looking for a motion to adopt the minutes dated April 9th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by the Vice Chair,
Second.
seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Next minutes, May 14th. Looking for a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilor Santiago, seconded by Vice Chair Reyes. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Next set of minutes is May 28th. Looking for a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion
Second.
made by the Vice Chair, seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. I'm looking for a motion to approve the June 11th minutes. Is there a
So
motion? Motion made by Councilor Santiago, seconded by the Vice Chair. Discussion? See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. And lastly, the July 9th, 2024. Looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilor Santiago, seconded by Vice Chair Reyes. Please put an E at the end of my last name. Let the minutes reflect that. On the first page. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. That's it. Okay, councilors. I do expect a brief meeting this evening. We do have a few city employees that I'd like to get. They've been here since before 8:30. I'd like for them to get home. And they're both here. I'd like to start off with the clerk, because I think this is probably one of the faster ones to go through. If there's no objections, there's a series of disclosure forms, starting with number 348. Well, the city, so I'm looking, if there's no objection, we'll start off with number 3. Is there an objection? See none. Clerk, you're here in absentia for, I believe, these individuals who are listed. So why don't you just talk about the first one, and then we can go through once we find out what this is all about.
I do not have an agenda in front of me, so I don't have the list of names. I apologize. If I could steal an agenda from someone. Pat, can I just steal your agenda for 1 minute? I'll bring it right back. Okay. Thank you.
Does that mean we have to share now? Yeah. Is that what that means? It's a good thing I like you. All right.
There's a series of city employees
I got it right here.
who
All right.
do
Good.
what's called a senior tax work-off program. And the senior tax work-off program allows them to earn credits as homeowners towards their property taxes, which is seen as a revenue source by our payroll office, because she has to pay a small payroll tax on that. And then they also are poll workers. They work the elections. Most of them work the election in September and November. None of these individuals work early voting, so these are just poll workers who actually work election day. They do get paid to go to the training as long as they work on election day. Looks like there's 11 of them. The very first one, document 348-24, Elizabeth Byron. Just in full disclosure, Elizabeth is not a poll worker. She is a tutor, a reading tutor through the public schools, and she also does the senior tax work-off. Everyone else works elections. So Elizabeth maybe should be here, but I know that just for full disclosure, she does not work on election day. She does do tutoring with Lawrence Public Schools, so she also needs to do the same disclosure. But Shirley D'Angelo, for instance, she works in my office. She's lovely. She also makes awesome cookies. Don't steal her. But she'll come and work in our office till she gets her, I believe it's like 63 hours that they need to work. And then in addition to that, she is a campaign worker. She's particularly stationed at the South Lawrence East School over in District F. And Kathleen LaPlume, Geraldine McNeil, Lorraine Mangan, Maureen Murphy, Linda Poulin, Patricia Riddle, Richard Russell, and Marilyn Toomey. They're all the people that do that. They do both the senior tax work-off and they do election work on election day, which I'm trying really hard not to call them poll workers because it just sounds terrible. Anyway, but that being said, we've been asked by the payroll office, Donna Cole has asked to make sure that they're filing the same disclosure. I'll give you an example. There's a firefighter who also plows. He has to file the same kind of disclosure. If you get paychecks from two separate city departments, you need to file this kind of a disclosure. So even though they don't get a paycheck for working the senior tax work-off, that credit that they get is seen as income. So because of that, they have to file this.
So let me ask you a question that I did not expect to ask,
Yeah.
which is, as a poll worker, they're getting paid, correct?
That is correct. Cash, like would be paid a check, yes.
Right. And that's fair compensation.
Yeah.
Pay has gone up in the last few years. No one's complaining about their pay now. Everybody seems to be
no.
very happy, very fair and equitable pay. Am I also to understand that in addition to getting paid, they're also going to get a tax credit?
No, yes, but for doing additional work. Like Shirley D'Angelo works in the city clerk's office on Tuesday mornings to help with filing. Kathleen LaPlume, I think, volunteers downstairs. Well, she doesn't volunteer. She works as a senior tax work-off in the Veteran Services, helping answering the phones.
Okay.
I don't know what Maureen Murphy or Linda Poulin do specifically, but they do a different task, either in the senior center or in City Hall, some in the library, for additional hours, and they get paid at the minimum wage rate till they hit the threshold of their tax credit, which I believe was just increased from $500 to $750 or whatever it is. But yeah, that's, so they, not in addition to, for additional work, they get additional compensation.
Right. And the only reason why we are actually having a vote on this for the tax for this is because they are also getting a paycheck because they're doing work as a poll worker.
Right.
Had they not been doing this, other people who are participating in this that we're not approving. We don't have to.
Yeah.
That's strictly what's going on between the assessor and the senior center folks. They're figuring that out. And so, okay.
Because the volunteer work they do to get that property tax credit on their home, there's a very small amount. I want to say it's like $6.13, but it's a very specific, but it gets paid to the federal government as payroll tax by our payroll office. Our payroll director has said that that's pay, and therefore we need to have them disclosing it because technically they're paid from two departments.
Gotcha. I'm clear. Are there any other questions by members of the committee?
That makes sense, I hope.
Now I'm clear.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's very clear.
You're clear?
So I'm so happy to have this kind of program.
Yeah. Agreed.
To our people, to our veterans. I want to say that.
Okay. So, Councilor, did you want to say something? No question? Okay. What I want to do, Councilor, I think the best way to do this is I think it's important that we do each one individually, and we mention the name, so it's all part of the records as we send it on up. So I'm looking for, I'm looking to send document 348 disclosure of, and I'm going to do the once in it. After this, I won't say all this again. Disclosure of potential conflict of by a special city employee for the senior tax write-off program for Elizabeth Byron. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
To send
to the full council meeting.
With the favorable recommendation?
Yes.
Motion made.
Second.
Seconded by the vice chair. Discussion. See no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed no. The ayes have it. 34924. Same disclosure. This one is for Shirley D'Angelo. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the full council meeting for the favorable recommendation.
Motion made
Second.
and seconded by the vice chair. Discussion. See none. I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed no. The ayes have it. 350. A disclosure of potential conflict for Kathleen LaPlume. Looking for a motion?
Motion to send to the full council meeting for favorable recommendation.
Motion made,
Second.
seconded by the vice chair. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 35124, disclosure of potential conflict of interest for Geraldine McNeil. Looking for a motion?
Motion to send to full council for favorable recommendation.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 35224, disclosure of potential conflict for Lorraine Mangan.
Motion to send for full council meeting for favorable recommendation.
Motion made, seconded by the vice chair. Discussion. Seeing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 35324, disclosure of a potential conflict by special employee Maureen Murphy. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send for council meeting to favorable recommendation.
Motion made and seconded by the vice chair. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 354, disclosure of a potential conflict by special employee Linda Poulin. Motion.
Motion to send for council meeting to for favorable recommendation.
Motion made,
Second.
seconded by the vice chair. Discussion. Seeing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 35524, disclosure of a potential conflict by special employee Patricia Riddle. Motion.
Motion to send for council meeting for favorable recommendation.
Second.
Motion made and seconded by the vice chair. Discussion. Seeing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 35624, potential disclosure of a potential conflict of interest for special employee and former counselor Richard Russell.
Motion to send to full council meeting for favorable recommendation.
Motion made and seconded by the vice chair. Discussion. See now, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. And last, 35724, disclosure of a potential conflict by special employee Marilyn Toomey.
Motion to send to full council meeting for favorable recommendation.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Clerk, you'll be here. The next meeting is August the
We haven't
6th.
set a date yet.
6th, what?
The 6th is National Night Out.
Oh.
So, I don't think you're gonna meet on National Night Out because most of you participate in National Night Out. I'm presuming it will be rescheduled either to the next night or that Thursday, but I haven't been told any dates or anything.
Okay, so right now, until further notice, the meeting is the
It's the
6th,
6th, yeah.
until we're notified otherwise.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, clerk. Have a good night.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry. Staying with city employees out of order, if there's no objection, I'd like to take document number 35824, request for amending the zoning map from an R2 to a B1 at 345 South Broadway. If there's no objection, this was put on by Attorney Peter Caruso for A&M Auto Body, and apparently Mr. McCarthy is giving us something. Information.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Again, Mr. McCarthy, did you wish to speak first on this? You're welcome to if you want to.
Yeah,
It's really Mr. Petrollo's thing.
I don't see the
Okay.
applicant in the room,
The attorney?
the attorney, Caruso,
Okay,
who has this on the agenda.
okay,
But it did cross my desk yesterday, and I saw this, and I spoke with the city clerk about this on Friday, I believe. And any change in the zoning ordinance is a procedure that's set by the state under Mass General Laws, Chapter 48. So the city council has a responsibility of making those changes to approving or not, or disapproving it. But the procedure is that it must go to the planning board first for review, and it should be referred. So I was contacted by the city clerk, and she said this matter had been referred to the planning board and to this committee simultaneously. I've done several of these before in the past, and I usually just come to the committee, ask that this matter be tabled until it's been reviewed, and the planning board has made a review of this, which they will submit to this committee for you to use as part of your consideration. That right now, this matter is scheduled to go before the Lawrence Planning Board on September 3rd
okay.
for a public hearing.
Okay.
You should get a decision back the week after that, and we can be brought up in committee again. But I would ask that this matter be tabled until that time, so that the planning board has the opportunity to review it and make comments.
Very good. So by law, this is essentially what we're required to do. We're required to have a holding pattern until the other body completes their work and then submits it back to us. This is standard procedure, and we're just following what the law
section-
prescribes.
The section from chapter 48 is
Got it.
cited in my letter.
Okay. I don't think there's really much of a discussion. I know that Mr. Petrillo is here, but I think he understands why we're about to do what we're about to do. So I'm going to look for a motion to table this matter until the planning board completes their due diligence and their part, and then we can revisit this issue once that's complete. And as the what's your title? What's your title? I get confused.
Acting planning director?
You're the acting planning director?
Acting planning.
Can I just call you planning director? What the planning director is suggesting is, or telling us, is that there's a September 3rd,
I believe that's so, yes.
September 3rd hearing.
The first Wednesday in September, it's September 3rd.
And then we would expect something shortly after that, some sort of decision or something.
It's usually a 1 or 2 page decision.
Okay.
They'll refer to it, they'll either
Okay.
support it, they'll not support it, or they'll make some suggestions.
Okay. Mr. Petrillo, are you aware of all this is what is happening? We can't do anything tonight, so I just want you to, are you aware of what Mr. McCarthy has just stated and the process going forward? Are you familiar? There's not much we can do about it. It's according to the Mass General laws. We're just going to follow what the laws suggest. We are going to come back. There will be an opportunity in the fall, once the planning board concludes their portion of deliberations, then they'll send their recommendations up or down to us.
If that's the case, I'd like to have some input, you know.
So as an abutting resident, he will get notice of this, and it'll be a public hearing. All the neighbors will get notice of this, and he can appear at the planning board and relate any comments he has to the planning board to assist them with their decision. That they will be just making a recommendation. They don't have any decision power. They'll come back to this council. You have the authority to make changes or not.
I'm just looking at the calendar real quick to make sure the first Wednesday is the 3rd, and actually the first Wednesday is the 4th.
Okay.
So September the 4th, Mr. Petrillo, is when it appears. And where is that going to take place? Do you know the location?
Currently, we're conducting the meetings at 255 Essex Street, which is the old school department conference room.
Yeah, please write that down, Mr. Petrillo. It's September 4th, right now at 255 Essex Street. And what time do you typically begin your meeting?
Yeah, but Mr. Petrillo will get a notice.
But I
of
want to
this.
make sure he gets it tonight so he doesn't have to wait. Right.
Building right behind us.
Is it a 7 o'clock meeting or 6? What time does your meeting usually start?
6 o'clock.
Usually starts at 6.
Is it up on the fourth floor?
There we go.
It's on the
All right.
floor, in the conference room. The old school department conference room.
We will have a robust discussion at a later time. That won't be this evening. So I'm going to look for a motion to table. Is there a motion?
Motion to table?
Motion made by the vice chair, seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion. There's no discussion on the table matters. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Thank you, councilors.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, Mr. Petrillo. All right, next. We have one more. You got. We'll see you in a little. We'll see you in a couple months. Document 35424. This is the naming of the South Lawrence East Athletic Fields as the David Ortiz Athletic Complex.
I have some documents to provide.
Sure, love to see him since I'm a co-sponsor of this thing.
Which number?
First one. Hi, thank you. So welcome, Ms. Santana. Do you have comments this evening you want to make on behalf of this item?
Yes, I do. Good evening,
Go ahead.
councilors. I am here standing by you. My name is Ada Santana, and
Ada.
200 Common Street, just for the record. I'm the DPW acting deputy director. And I am standing here today to propose the naming of the athletic field for South Lawrence East to be David Ortiz Athletic Complex. We believe that this could be greatly impact for youth here in Lawrence. David Ortiz is not only a famous baseball player, he is also a Hall of Famer who has made Boston and Massachusetts proud. He's a role model whose influence goes beyond the game. I learned by a statement that the Superintendent Carrero said that 98% of the children here are Hispanic and 96% of them are Dominican, which shares the same nationality as David Ortiz. And this is one of the reasons why we believe it would connect with our children or youth here in Lawrence. His story, it's overcoming challenges and achieving success deeply resonates with all of us. We all work hard, we all have dreams, and he shows that dreams can come a reality. Ortiz has made important contributions to Massachusetts, especially to our youth, by providing through the David Ortiz Children's Fund, healthcare in New England and in the Dominican Republic to those children that cannot afford it otherwise. His commitment to helping children's family and community aligns with all of us here in Lawrence. We are committed to helping our youth, our community, and our residents. Boston has recognized David Ortiz by naming a bridge, by naming our athletic complex here in Lawrence. David Ortiz will not only honor his achievement, but also inspire our children. It sends a powerful message that their dreams are within reach and that their culture, our culture, is something to be proud of. The South Lawrence East features 4 ball fields, and we all know that sport, it's important in our children's development. It helps them, it teaches them essential life skills such as teamwork, leadership, overcoming challenges, and help them to be disciplined. By naming this complex after David Ortiz, we are aiming to spark that passion for sport for youth, encouraging them to be active, healthy, and focus on positive goals. This proposal is also supported by the mayor, Brian De Peña, the school superintendent, Ralph Carrero, and our counselor, Mark LaPlante.
He's here tonight, by the way. Right.
I am confident, we are all confident that you will see the immense value this will bring to our community. Let us continue working together because we have always worked together, all of us, to support our youth and support our community. This will allow us not only to create a lasting legacy, but to support our youth to be more involved in sports. Our children deserve a role model who reflects their experience, background, and aspiration, and David Ortiz is a perfect candidate for this role. Thank you for considering this proposal, and let us all work together as we have, naming David Ortiz Athletic Complex a reality for the children in the community of Lawrence. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Santana. Any comments, questions?
Just comments. I'm so happy to see this kind of proposal because when we're talking about our dailies, we are so proud. We are from the Dominican Republic. But when we see what he do for our youth, it's amazing. It's a good it's a good leadership. I am so happy to see the kind of proposal and everyone's amazing.
Thank you.
Councilor Santiago?
It is a big honor for Dominican, especially, and it is great. And really, I appreciate it. When you think David, he is the best to have this program, the name. I think David Ortiz is the big motivation for our kids, and many kids like baseball, and especially they love Big Papi.
And Big Papi.
Thank you.
And also, we want to say thank you to our college because he supported the
He
kind of
is
proposal, so
supporting it.
making us and our community proud. See our leadership to supporting different culture. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sure. So I'm looking for a motion.
A motion to send the further recommendation to our city council.
Second.
Motion made in discussion. So I just want to say just a quick something. So I'm not Dominican. I used to be at one time, but not any longer. Just kidding. But I think David Ortiz transcends any one particular culture. He is an individual that, while if you're from the Dominican Republic, you will look at him with great pride, understandably so. But now he's not just the Dominican Republic's David Ortiz. He is now he is now shared with many, many, many more people in this country. When he became a U.S. citizen in 2008, this is when he became part of all of us, not just the subsection that came from the DR. So he's now an American citizen, and we are so pleased that he happens to be in a place, or we're going to honor him in a place where there is a large, clearly substantial number, as is evidenced by your talking point, of Dominicans. I think am I the only non-Dominican person on the entire city council? I think you're so. All right.
You were in one point, you said.
And I just think that it's important to point that out, because I don't want to put him in a box, because he's bigger than that box, is the point.
I agree.
And not only the stuff that he does here, but he's also worked with the Red Sox Foundation. And so his generosity, while I'm pleased that he's doing things in other countries, especially the Dominican Republic, what I'm more focused on is what is he doing here, not only in our country, but what can he possibly be doing in our city? Because that's where my loyalties lies, to the people, all of them in our city, most specifically the people in District F, but our city specifically. And to start and maybe have a relationship with him that many of our youth, and I will also say adults, it's not, I mean, I've got a man crush on David Ortiz when he hit when he hit that home run, I mean, that was a big deal when, he broke the curse. That was huge.
Yes.
That was huge. I mean, we all have stories about how important that was was it 81 years without a title in Boston? Is that the number, Madam Chair? Without a championship? Was it that long? 78, something like that? 81? And so, anyway, so it's a big deal. And I, as you all know, the naming of things are really important. I'm doing a lot of research on the over 200 people in our city that got things named after them. And I don't do that very lightly. I put a lot of thought and time and effort. I voted no on some items that have come before the council because they don't meet the criteria that I have for that. In this particular setting, this was not a slam dunk for me, quite frankly. It was not yes, let's definitely do it. I needed to know more. I needed to see what he did. So I made some phone calls to the Red Sox. I wanted to find more about what he was doing in the area and find out what he was doing in our communities and what kind of impact. And after having those kinds of discussions and that kind of background.
You are our historical college. You know everything about our history.
So,
you can look at it, you can reach out.
so I feel a lot more comfortable. He is an outlier. He's an outlier, I think. So anyway, so I appreciate the comments this evening. I agree with both of you very much on your thoughts. I agree, and I look forward to having the vote. And do we want to? I know I talked to some folks in the administration. Are you feeling comfortable now about if this thing were to go? I mean, what kind of time frame, or is that premature at this point? If we were to do something,
it's a little premature, but it's around the Heritage Month, the Hispanic Heritage Month.
Okay.
I believe so.
Is that September?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I didn't want to say that out loud. Okay.
And going back to your point, Counselor, I didn't want to put him on a box. It's just that information resonates with a lot of our kids in the community. But yes, he's way more wider than just
Gotcha.
Dominican. And I think that would open the doors for him to get more involved with the Lawrence community as well. So that's the reason why.
That's the hope. Very good. So I'll thank you very much.
No, thank you.
I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. So thank you, Ms. Santana. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And good luck to the rest of your colleagues who are on the audience.
Thank you.
In order, the next in order is the number 34124 Spigot River cleanup, this September 21st.
Hello, counselors. My name is Isai Grullon. I'm a surrogate here for Eddie Rosa at Groundwork Lawrence. I also work there as well, but this isn't my usual role, so pardon me if I'm like. So the Spigot River cleanup, Groundwork Lawrence has been doing it yearly for as long as I can remember, and I've lived in Lawrence my whole life, so probably
Sure.
1999, 2000s. And every year in September, we rally up community members to volunteer and clean up along the Spigot River. Typically, we start at Manchester Street Park and work our way down all the way towards the end of the Spigot River Greenway. The specific locations are always determined by a walkthrough a few weeks before, kind of see what areas need the most attention. And
Okay.
it's a few hours on a Saturday. Do you have any questions? I was told you'd have questions.
Now I feel pressure to ask you a question. I wasn't going to.
Okay.
The most important question I have, and I'm just looking for right now, did you get clearance from the Recreation Department?
From the Recreation Department?
Right. I just want to make sure there's no conflict. I don't think
Okay.
there is. I don't think there's a problem, but
I don't know the answers to that, but I can get back to you on
let
it.
me look. It's probably in here. If you see it, let me know. If you see it, let me know. It's in the packet. Did they send you with the packet? Next time, say you're not going to the city council without the packet.
I was remote today and Eddie was out, so I
Okay.
got this call at like 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
To come in.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
very last minute.
Gotcha. All right. I don't want, you must leave the place better than what you found it. Don't leave your litter.
Absolutely. If I have anything to do with it, there will be no litter left.
That's actually kind of funny because that's the whole idea behind you guys doing this is to clean up. So I'm
Well,
sure there
'cause-
won't be any litter.
But throughout the history, we've had like, oh, we want to give, water.
Right.
It's like, well, then we have water, our water bottles are all over. Okay, so we've kind of tailored each year and learned from previous years as to how not to litter more than what we picked up.
All right, recreation. I finally stumbled on it. Let me see. How did you get that sheet? Is that for today's meeting? July 12th? No. Is it? No. So do me a favor, under the Parks and Recreation, it's empty, at least in this iteration. It may have been done by now, because this was printed up probably last Thursday or Friday. So, we can send, oh, here it is. Hold on. Spigot River cleanup. Okay, you got a green light. I see it, so you're good.
Great.
All right, that's my only question, so sorry about that. Any other counselors have any questions on this? No? I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to send to further recommendation with the full council?
Second.
Motion made by the vice chair, seconded by Counselor Santiago. Discussion. Seeing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. So the drill is this. The drill is August the 6th, but we think, thank you, but we don't, that this National Night Out, there's a very real chance it's going to be moved to a different date, either Wednesday or Thursday. But right now, it's that Tuesday. That's our normal meeting. And the other thing, too, you guys are really good at this. I feel almost embarrassed to say it, but I have to be fair. Just make sure the music's not crazy, so you got people who are in the area as well. And I know you don't go nutty at these events, but I have to say it because I'm treating you like everybody else. So there you go. Okay?
All right, thank you, Council.
All right, so I'll see you or somebody on the 6th or so.
Oh, on the 8th?
No, the next city council, we don't get